Hey, what it do, what the business is?
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely. And I am Spike Lou on them same social sites. Go and holla at your boy. Catch out all the good work we putting in out there. AB, what up with you?
Man, listen, if y'all not watching Succession, fuck it, I'm just gonna
Oh
kick
my
it off just
God.
like this. We're gonna
Oh
get to
my
the business in a
God.
minute. That last Succession, if you know, you know,
Listen,
that motherfucker was tough. That was all.
I'm here to put the gas on it. I'm gonna
Tough.
go ahead and go overboard with it. That's up there. That's on the Mount Rushmore of TV episodes. Like if you breaking down like individual episodes, like I remember that No Moss shit from Breaking Bad or
Yeah.
half and counter measures or whatever the fuck it may be.
Half
Some
measures. Yep.
Game of Thrones shit, man.
Nah,
But
ain't no Game of Thrones up
this
there
was
though.
right up there with it was some this was right up there with some classic Game of Thrones shit. This
That
shit
shit was
was
fire.
that bro.
Yeah, it was cold. I ain't gonna lie. It was up there. No gas.
They got to get awards for this episode specifically. Well, I was locked in. That was some
I
good ass
agree.
TV right there, boy. Sheesh, man.
That
If you
shit
ain't
was
watching Succession,
yeah.
tap in.
Yeah, man. Hey, wake up if you ain't watching that, man. You sleeping. But
Absolutely. And real quick, if you want to catch a review, me and the good guys over at Frames Per Second, my guy Nikki Duce, my guy Right Wing Manny, and Sheldon and Doc, all of us over there covering the Succession, man, every Saturday, I think.
there you
If
go.
not, just look for it in your feed.
Yeah, man. Listen, that's gonna be a good one right there off that last one for sure.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Man, action-packed episode, guys. Jim Jones has been throwing out hot takes crazy. He's gonna tell you who belongs on the top 50 rapper list above Pusha T. The name will surprise you. We've got court updates, man, for some of the high-profile murders in hip hop as well. And there's only one rapper on the new Forbes billionaire list, man. We have three that have fallen off. We're going to talk about who those are. But first, the long awaited, highly anticipated. We have gassed this project for the last 2 years. Looking forward to this. The Currency and Jermaine Dupri project finally came out. They dropped it on Tuesday last week, old school throwback style. It is called For Motivational Use Only. It was an EP. My simple question is, did the project meet your expectations?
Very simply response, no. Uh, more in-depth response. The reason that I was excited for this project, man, is I'm not the biggest Currency fan in the world. However, I do really respect him in his lane and what he's built for himself as a career. What I thought was going to happen is we were going to get some JD sauce on what Currency does and make it more likable for a palette like mine. Not really a big Currency person. I like good music, though. I like what JD does as a producer. So I thought that JD would be bringing a lot of that on board. And when I cut it on, my favorite song was a song that I already heard, that they put the video out when JD had the hot top. And that was really the only like JD song, like with the little sample sped up and just giving you some different shit. Everything else is like remade remade New Orleans bounce shit. Like, I don't want to hear that, bro. I go listen to some Currency old shit. So I was really disappointed in the fact that even if you're going to give us 7 tracks, that it was 7 things that I've heard Currency do before. The draw to this project was Currency never really works with big producers like JD. I wanted to hear JD get in there and do his big producer thing, and he just didn't.
Yeah, my expectations were sky high. They have been teasing this for what seems like eons, but it's really been about 2 years, maybe even 3. And the snippets, which snippets tend
Where
to
those
do,
songs at?
snippets usually sound really good. You play like the dopest part. You're in $1 million studio. The speakers are $100,000 a piece. Damn near everything sounds good in that setting. I was looking forward to it for that. And then I listened to it. Number one, I was disappointed. It was an EP. That's number one. Let's go ahead and get that out there. They done hit us with the Kanye 7 piece after a 3-year wait. That's just disrespectful to the culture. So that aside, I thought the music was good, but it reminded me why I kind of cheated myself getting too excited for a JD produced hip hop project because I can't tell you the last JD produced rap project I was excited for or heard that I thought was dope. I can't tell you the last one. Like, we know what his track record is on the R&B tip. That nigga writes with a pen made of fucking 24 karat gold ink when it comes to the Mariah shit, the Usher shit, Escape. Like, he got that in his bag. The rap shit has never really quite connected outside of Bow Wow, and you had to be 12 to really even fuck with that at the time. So, well, with all due respect to the Brat, but again, that's 90s shit that we're talking about. That don't even count. If the last dope rapper you had was in 94, then that's a problem.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that being said, I was let down. I'm not going to hold you, but I do like the project. I did like it. I was just let down because I thought the song with 2 Chainz was fire. Nigga, that Off the Lot, that shit slapped. And the one with T.I. was banging too.
Yes. But again, it was only 7 songs, and it just, those songs, of course, we didn't hear them before, but I don't know, it just wasn't like that single. I expected more stuff like that first song they dropped with that little oh in the background or whatnot. Mm-hmm. You brought up a good point with the hip hop not really being that excited about it or not having that track record. That's what really kind of made me excited because Currency got his thing, and I knew that JD wouldn't pull Currency too far away from what he did, and I thought JD would add more with what he did. But I do agree with you. The 2 Chainz song's banging, the T.I. song banging. I cannot believe, in reference to the 2 Chainz song, that grown men out here calling each other twin.
That's nuts.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that niggas is walking up being like, "What's up, twin?" That's nuts to me.
That's some young boy shit. That's some young boy.
That's
shit.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's a fact.
I digress.
But it did let me down. I don't need the volume 1, volume 2. Just give me one 14-track thing, bro. That's it. Just stop playing. Out of the way. Yeah, get it out the way. This is perfect. It's starting to warm up out here. This would have been right on time. I'm not gonna say it's some slaw, but I am let down. That I'm hot about it too on the low. On the low.
I'll go with that. Let down, not really no slaw.
Hey, did you go to the show?
No, I did not.
The stage looked dope.
I seen some people talking about it. It did look like they had it going in.
Yeah.
I did not get to go to the show though, unfortunately.
Yeah, me neither.
We got to get some field reporters out there, man, to give us some feedback on the show and how it went.
Facts.
Next, man, speaking of letdowns and disappointments, your man's dropped a single, The Boy. He back in the saddle, it seems like, getting ready for the summer. I got a really simple question, as you did with the JD and Currency. AB, are you looking to be come and rescued, search and destroy, seek and destroy, whatever the fuck the name of this song was? What did you think about Drake's new joint?
I think people are giving this song a really hard time, and I am very confused as to why. It's called Drake Search and Rescue. It leaked a couple of days prior because there's a Kim K sample on there. People thought he was trying to throw disses at Kanye. Drake's dad.
He was trying to?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the diss? Somebody tell me what the diss is.
Your ex-wife is on my song and you hate me.
Nah, they squashed that, man.
No, they didn't. Drake already didn't came. I did that for Jay Prince, bro. I don't fuck with you.
So I thought the song was fine. It didn't bother me. It's not a classic. It's not trash as people try to make it out to be. I just think people get really excited when Drake puts out a song that's not 5 mics. People can't wait to scream at the top of the mountaintops, bro, that the song is not the most amazing shit they've ever heard. I've never seen anything like this. Probably the closest is Jay-Z anytime he does a verse. There's a segment of people that cannot wait to tell niggas that their verse ain't all that. And I don't understand that. Yeah, let me take that back. I do understand it. When you're at the top, there's an expectation that's unrealistic for you to deliver classic material every time you release. There's no video for this song, bro. It's a Lucy. He's more than likely gearing up for another 4-piece EP, and it's gonna have 2 or 3 songs in there that everybody's gonna bang, and nobody's gonna give a shit that he put this out and people didn't like it. I've already heard the other song that's kind of leaked with him and Uzi. He's on there ripping it. God flow shit on there. So people be right back on his nuts when that project comes out. I don't want to hear that nigga. Oh, this song right here. What is this? It's over with. No, it's not. Stop, dude. Let's call off.
People were saying it was over with.
No, that's what. No, I'm just people can't wait to say that shit, man. They can't wait to hate. Nothing wrong with the fucking song, man. You like it too. Go ahead.
Surprisingly, I do. Ain't nothing wrong with this song, man. But I don't have the same expectations for Drake. I feel like that most people do. Like Drake is a great artist to me, but I ain't like ready to sit there and analyze it with a pen and a pad and just whatever the fuck that people be doing with it. However, I feel like it's a fun song, dude. Summer finna start. It kind of it's playful. Pause if you gotta say that behind it, but like it's a cool song. I like the theme to come and rescue me behind it. I do think that it shows that kind of, and this is a deeper conversation, the switch in hip hop to where the males aren't the like aggressors anymore, if that's the right word to look at it. Like I was listening to that the NLE and the girl song Booty Hole Brown song, like just how. What's her name? Whatever that Sexy Red or whatever that shit. Just how aggressive that the younger women and the younger generation of women are, what their flow is about, versus the direct contradiction of like the biggest rapper in the game and him asking a woman to come and rescue him and save him from the streets. It's just a crazy, if you're paying attention to it, switch in like the culture and what it used to be when we grew up and how toxic and masculine it was to now what you see from the biggest rapper in the game and his thought process. It's crazy.
But he's been on that type of wave though. Like especially when this some people call it some simp shit. He got some simp records out there. Let's be clear.
And it's okay. It's okay for him to be a simp. I'm not judging him for it. I just feel like that would have been an album track a minute ago, right? Like we would have heard that. If you didn't like it, you may have missed it. If you weren't just listening to the album, it probably would have been in the crates. It wouldn't have been, even though Marvin's Room was, that's a totally different vibe. It wouldn't have been, oh, I'm just dropping a Lucy and it's come and rescue me right before the Hoochie Daddy summer starts, for lack of a better word. It's weird, man, being my age and looking at it and seeing the approach that he, the biggest rapper in the game, takes versus how the women approach it now.
For sure.
Something to pay attention
to. I think, again, now I will say the jabs at Kanye or even like the Kim K lookalike on the album artwork, that kind of fell flat, though. I don't think that was as impactful as he thought it was going to be.
Well, because people don't give a fuck about Kanye West no more. Like, Kanye got to be out in front of the world for people to be like, okay, and him to react to it. If Kanye don't add no fuel to the fire, then people don't care. You know what I'm saying?
At this point, it look like you picking on
felt flat. Weird. Yeah, it's like, bro, come on, what are you doing? You're the biggest rapper in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, do something else, my nigga.
That fell flat. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a fact. Work on your clothes. Learn how to dress better. Nigga, start worrying about Ye.
Watch one, my boy. Hey man, I got Drake fucked up. Listen,
when he come out with the what line?
No, I thought you were talking about Ye. He gonna be back though. He gonna bounce back.
It's over for Kanye West. It's all the way over, bro. Forget it. Man, forget it, man.
Speaking of Drake and Kanye, an affiliate of the two, or affiliate of Kanye and an adversary of Drake, Pusha T, man, was thrown into that. Here we go with the top 50 rapper debate again. Everybody's favorite topic for the last 2-3 years. Jim Jones was on the Rap Caviar podcast, and he weighed in on Vibe's 50 greatest rappers of all time. The clips were placed at number 29, if you remember. And Jim Jones said, bro, why is Pusha T in this, bro? He said, quote, what has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about coke that he probably didn't get himself? He's nice as shit. He can rap his ass off, but what has he done? Nobody has dressed like him. Nobody wants to be like Pusha T, dude. I don't remember nothing. End quote. He said Pusha T don't hold no weight out here. He's not pushing no shit out here. Referring to, I guess, New York or the rap game, period. He even went further to say that NBA YoungBoy would deserve a spot on the top 50 list before Pusha T. My question, who would you put in the top 50 if you had to only choose one, NBA YoungBoy or Pusha T?
NBA YoungBoy is not far off from that. He's closer to that list than Jim Jones is. But I would definitely put Pusha T. And this is part of my gripe when people listen to this show and I talk to them and they say, man, you hate New York rappers and this and that. They try to minimalize shit from the South because it ain't there. To say that first of all, to try to throw the jab and be like, if he sold that dope, like the nigga was clearly on Vlad talking about it. The nigga that he was selling it with, like, nah, that's not a lie. And two, he's talking about the impact. Like, bro, you was a grown ass man. Were you expected to go dress like Pusha T? Like, I don't get what he's saying. Like, cause niggas didn't follow behind him and wear those ugly ass Bird Gang and Vampire Life shit. He thinks that he didn't have an impact, bro. The world is bigger than Harlem. Pusha T talk about shit, and there are a lot more people in the area of where he from that aspire to what he talks about. Luxury dope, like bitches, money, like luxury clothes, like top shelf living houses and shit. That nigga brought a whole line of luxury rap. And of course, that's later on, like now the last 2 to 3 albums, but that's still more impactful than anything that Jim Jones has done other than the Ballin' song. And I feel like people from New York, they'll have that one accreditation that they think that, I can say anything about anybody. Jim Jones would probably argue that he's had a better career than Pusha T, and that's totally insane. Totally insane, bro. So I just think with this, Jim Jones' head is up his ass. It's New York bias. He trying to throw, for some reason, may have a problem with Pusha T, trying to throw jabs and shot, probably hoping Pusha T responds, hoping that this will light him up for the summer and they can have this little beef going between old niggas. But Pusha T probably somewhere in the south of France, man, like on a beach. I'm not doing caviar rap podcast with these niggas sitting in these old ugly ass hoodies that don't look like they don't want to be there. Like, bro, relax, Jim Jones. I just do not understand when New York niggas try to minimalize stuff that comes from the South, and then he try to throw the NBA young boy in there because he from New Orleans. Stop, bro. Just stop, Jim Jones.
Yeah, listen, the NBA young boy part is the most interesting part to me because we know how popular he's. Extremely popular. He's extremely influential. Like, there's a lot of people that come from that NBA YoungBoy tree. Now, it's not for I'm gonna be honest. We're not the demo for it. We're not the demo, but Pusha T
called
is
it though. Let's be very clear. We called that shit way back when 38 Baby, and we said he's gonna blow.
Facts.
It just grew out. We outgrew it quicker than he blew up. Yeah,
that's a fact. Now, Pusha T is more our demographic when it comes to the type of music, or at least just the perspective that he's speaking from. But NBA YoungBoy has had a huge impact on rap. He's got over 25 mixtapes. Like, bro, look around the league. When niggas in the locker room and shit, bro, are they at shoot around? Niggas YoungBoy playing, bro. You see John Morant? He fucking grittying up and down the court to quoting this nigga, bro. So he's massively influential. Let's keep it a buck. Nobody's quoting Pusha T. With all due respect, I'm a fan. Nobody's quoting him, dude. So impact-wise, he has a point. Skills, quality of work, body of work, I guess that's subjective, you know what I'm saying, depending on what you're into. But that is the more interesting conversation. Does NBA YoungBoy need to be, does more respect need to be put on his name than it gets currently? And I don't know. I guess it just depends on the age demographic that you're asking. That's more interesting than the whole, I don't know what his beef is with Pusha T. That's just kind of weird.
He said he put Cameron and Big Sean above Pusha T as well. I wonder where he would put Nas, because he's talking about impact and nobody want, like, I would say the same thing about Nas that he's saying about Pusha T as a Southern, like, just looking at and slightly hating like he's doing. I would say the same thing about Nas, and you can't defend that. They playing Nas in the club. Like, did he sell any of the drugs that he's talking about? Like, come on. Like, the whole argument that he's making against Pusha T, it sounds nuts, and it sounds like you said there's something else going on. Pusha T probably dissed him or something. Snubbed him. He probably didn't even know who Jim Jones was when they was out, man. Jim came up with, man, we need a link, collab. I'm sorry, who are you, bro? Oh, you the nigga that used to be with Cam. Oh, what's up, bro? What was your name again? Capo? Oh, Jim. Yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah, tell your people, get with my people, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounded personal, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that definitely sounded personal.
I'm interested. Y'all let us know, though. Does YoungBoy deserve a spot on the top 50 list before Pusha T? Did she be interesting?
I wouldn't say before, but I would put him on there. Okay. I could find somebody to remove and put NBA YoungBoy and feel like he's more deserving, because dude is on a hell of a run.
Facts.
And it's crazy how the music business has changed, how he's not as big of a star throughout each age group, but just one age group. And he's still that big. So that's crazy. All right, man. Houston rapper BTB Savage. That's the man that was on Vlad, posted the picture of the post robbery scene when he and his girl had to kill an intruder. As we all know, sorry, condolences. BTB did lose his life shortly after posting that picture. His mother came out, as rightfully so, and she says that Vlad is a snake. He played an edited version of the interview that put her son in harm's way. My question to you is this: is she right in blaming the Vlad sit down for her son's murder, AB?
So condolences, like you just said, friends, family, and fans.
Yes.
I will never ever tell a parent who they should or should not blame for losing a son. That's impossible for me to even fathom. She can feel however way I'm on record. I'm finna go ahead and put out there. She can feel however she want to feel. Now, let me speak from my personal, how I feel, my perspective, not necessarily what she's saying. I think she's well within right. To give a little bit of a backstory, somebody tried to set him up. The rapper that is, the rapper out of Texas, tried to set him up with the whole let's do a feature shuck. And when they got to his house, they tried to rob him, kill him. Like you said, there was a scuffle over the gun. His girlfriend picked the gun up and shot the guy twice. This all happened in his apartment. The niggas that he was with tried to come back, shot through the door. It was insane. How we know these details is because that later on, he did make an appearance on Vlad where there was a 20-something minute episode where he sat there and laid out the exact step play-by-play of what happened. Now, the thing that a lot of people are pointing out is that the guy took a picture in the apartment room with the blood of the guy that he killed. He took a picture with the racks and the middle finger to that they put on Instagram, seemingly taunting the whole situation. Which listen, if niggas try to come and rob you and you like, man, fuck that nigga. I understand completely. Like, fuck it. I know what you mean. You don't give a shit. But the problem is that he did do the interview. The next day, they caught him in traffic and they did end up killing him. Bro, I personally, I can't put that solely on Vlad without mentioning the taunting that he did. Bro, how many times have we came on here, bro, and talked about how niggas smoking on niggas on songs or how niggas is dissing niggas on songs and that didn't. And how many of them niggas have ended up dead? If you go down a rabbit hole, nigga, on Chicago hip hop, if you go down a rabbit hole in fucking Tallahassee, there's 100 examples of this shit happening, bro. Somebody dies, somebody taunts the dead on a song, and they end up dead mysteriously 2, 3, 4 weeks later. Like, it's a cycle that's happening everywhere. It's unfortunate that someone tried to already kill him before he got on Vlad, dude. This was the second attempt. So, again, this is not going to be any shade or anything of what she's saying. She's well within right. But, bro, at some point, man, people have to hold themselves and the actions accountable for the role that they play. And I don't know why these niggas wanted him out of here, but somebody wanted him out of here, dude. And it was going on apparently way before Vlad shit came around.
Yeah. I'm not mad or don't think that you're wrong in saying he has to hold some accountability, because that's absolutely true. What I do think is interesting is when she said the editing choices. That's where I would blame Vlad. It's hard to tell an aspiring rapper or artist, hey, man, y'all shouldn't be going up there to do Vlad, because it's a look for them. For sure. That dude probably got more hits, more likes, or whatever it may be after that Vlad interview than he had his whole career, which I could see putting that battery in his back from that to be like, well, let me double down and taunt these niggas now.
That he already taunted though, bro.
What do you mean?
He posted that already though.
That picture was before the Vlad interview?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Even more so. I see what you're saying. What I don't get into his mother's part of the editing choices, if Vlad sees that interview, calls a guy, wants to know that's an interesting story, I still have to hold him somewhat accountable for the editing choices that he makes and putting that out. Like, these kids, man, they want to be famous, bro. Like, they're chasing their dreams. Yep. So as a grown man looking at Vlad, like, I have to look at him funny, knowing that you're manipulating these people. Like, of course, I ain't making them sit up here and say shit. Like, I get that. However, you are providing that platform for those things like that to happen. You can't completely absolve yourself and be like, oh, well, man, I just have the door open for him. Like, you have the rounds of questioning, you do the final editing, the stuff that you put out fits the fan base that you've built. So people already know coming in and that they got to come in at through a certain type of energy anyway. With all of that being said, man, I'm not against people going up to Vlad and just wasting his time. I feel like people should understand this and see this, and now they should stop answering the questions. You ain't got to stop going there. Keep getting the interview, keep getting the looks, but waste his time. Don't answer the dumb, insinuatory questions that he's trying to get you to answer, because Vlad not going to save you, bro. That's what they need to go up and understand. Like, Vlad ain't going to be like, he ain't going to give you no advice. He ain't going to say, hey, man, I know that was for the camera. You should do this or take this, that, and the third. That way, he ain't doing anything to help you, bro. He going to get more people to look at you, and that's what you want. That's cool. But they have to learn how to conduct themselves up there better. Like, I'm going to put some blame on Vlad, but I'm also going to put the blame on the people up there looking for that type of attention, and then it come finding them. Go up there and waste that nigga time. Oh, I ain't answering that. Oh, I plead the fifth. Oh, I can't talk about that. I love to see that be the trend up there and that nigga start losing his numbers and having to pivot and talk about something else. But that got to start with the artist. And I'm glad his mom came out and said something about this, because at least it puts some more eyes on it. The behind the scenes stuff, like I said, the editing choices, things that it's hard to blame him for if you don't know. Like, you can sit there and be like, I mean, well, they going up there and saying it, but it's a lot of production that goes into that shit too.
Facts.
And until they hold him accountable like BTB's mom is doing, he gonna continue to be able to get away with this and just toss Black Lives out the window. So fuck Vlad.
So here's the tricky part, and it's the unfortunate part. People hold their own personal Vlad interviews on Instagram Live every fucking day, and niggas have gotten killed behind that all the time. And no one holds that person to the same standard as anyone else. Like, he has an audience, right? Yeah. And he knows what his audience likes. And the reason he knows what his audience likes is because when he puts out a certain type of video, people consume it at a higher rate than they do other stuff. And so this kid, who I had never heard of, I'm not saying he wasn't popular, but he was on somebody's radar, because I think he had a deal or something. I don't know who he was with, but he's telling a story. Vlad, that interview, I watched all 20 minutes of that shit, because this nigga was literally giving a story about how niggas set him up, kicked in his door, and he literally fought for his life with him and his girl and his baby boy in the other room. Nigga, the story was captivating as fuck, dude. I hate that's got to be the case, but it is, dude. It's a captivating story that you don't hear every day. Most people are watching it from their cubicle with a fucking headset on, taking customer service calls, dude. Most people live very average, regular lives. Shit like this is intriguing. Like, it just is. That's no one person's fault. It's an interesting situation, dude, because normal motherfuckers don't experience anything. They're going to go their whole life and never experience anything close to this. So when they hear someone else telling their story from the horse's mouth, they're not getting it from anyone's mouth. They're getting it from the source. And so whether that's Instagram Live, Vlad, Say Cheese, No Jumper, whatever platform this nigga want to get on, they're not going to let him on Breakfast Club to tell his story. He's not big enough. They're not going to let him on these other platforms to tell his story. He's not big enough. So somebody like a Vlad knows that this is a captivating story, and he's going to let him tell it. Now, the editing and all that, bro, everything is edited. I'm not finna shoot him no bail, but everything is edited, bro. I don't know how much media shit his mom is into. Everything is fucking edited. I remember I had an interview with the newspaper. They edited the shit out of what I said, dude. I was like, damn, is it like this? I'm shout out to Lil Barry. Lil Barry was like, bro, that's what they do. I was interviewed for the football shit. They chopped up my shit. Like, they chopped and screwed my shit to death. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that either. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Everything is edited, bro. Everything's not interesting. He's catering to what's interesting to, and he knows what's interesting because his fan base has responded to certain shit. That's how he's looking at it. I don't think he's purposely putting stuff out there for people to get murdered behind. That would be weird. It sounds kind of bad for business. But again, I'm not talking about the mama. The mama can feel how she wants to. Losing the son is on like probably the worst shit ever. She can feel how she wants to. I respect everything she talking about. But we got to keep it a stack, bro. Like, niggas, it's some of the actions, bro, they have causes and effects to them, bro. We niggas just got to be careful. And I promise you, I hate to say it, I don't think this nigga got killed for that interview, bro. That was already gunning for him. I hate to break it to people, dude, but somebody got to fucking say that shit, dude. Like,
well,
it's unfortunate, but it's real.
How much responsibility do you put on Vlad? And I give you a caveat or some context, because the thought process is, if I'm going to sit down with well-established people who aren't Vlad, a Joe Budden, a Charlemagne the God, what's my man with the braids?
Beehive?
No.
Sway?
The nigga, Sway,
yeah.
Big Boy. These people, it seems, have a vested interest in not just your story, but in you being okay, because they're protective of this culture. So when I ask how much responsibility you put on Vlad, what do he tell a nigga after that nigga come up there and tell that story? You should be careful. Maybe you should, like,
he told
what's
him
his
that
responsibility in protecting him?
He told him that. He told Mo3 that shit.
He told Mo3.
He told Mo3, because Mo3 was like, nigga, I got money on my head. I got I don't need no security. He was like, you might want to get some security, bro. Like, you might want to move a little differently. Have you thought about moving differently? Man, ain't nobody finna do nothing to me, bro. I'm Dallas, my city.
But I'm talking about, that's an I told you so moment, right? I'm talking about the conversation that people like a Charlemagne would have with him, it seems like off camera. Not on camera, not like, hey man, you should get, not I told you so, and then this happens and Vlad looks like he's right or a prophet. I'm talking about someone who's genuinely not only interested in this story, but the person up here telling it. And that's part of the backlash I think that Vlad gets, and that's the problem that people have with him and call him a culture vulture. He doesn't present it in the sense of, hey, he's coming up here and telling, like you're saying, an interesting story. People can hear this because it's captivating. He kind of just throws it out there and lets you figure it out from there. There are a lot more context when it comes to our platforms. I think part of the problem that people have, and especially his mother, is like, one, Vlad doesn't look like us. So when he come up there asking them questions that don't come off the same way, and if he's not providing any insight to these young men, that's the biggest problem that I have. Because like you mentioned Mo3, you've mentioned these different people who've been on there and things have happened to them. I don't care when he does these interviews with the mobsters or the ex-BMF ladies and all. Those are grown people. These other people that I'm speaking of, the BTB nigga, the Mo3s, the young niggas that can be still, like, I can still not save you, but offer you some input as being an older man in this game. Vlad can't do that. Vlad is just taking their stories and throwing out there for consumption, for lack of a better word. I think that's part of the problem, that's my irk and most of the irritation that I hear with him. Because you're right. These niggas is going to get up there. They're going to tell their interesting stories. They're going to think they invincible just like we did at 19 to 29. That happens. But we talk about offline. We were just talking about this. There weren't people around us telling us, hey, man, y'all may want to make a better decision. Have you thought about it this way? Here's another perspective. And I credit Charlemagne. I credit Joe Budden. I credit $1 million worth of game, big facts. I always hear them niggas giving some input to the scenario. Even when you coming up here and telling the crazy stories, those guys are always still giving you, hey, man, I've been here, bro. Like, you may want to. So that's what I mean. Vlad just seemed like, oh, you got a crazy story to tell. Come sit here and tell it. All right, bro, peace. That's what.
No, that's a fact. Now, and we don't know what's said on or off. I mean, off camera. That's a fact. The only issue is, and then we'll move on, is that everyone that you named, Charlemagne, Joe Budden, Sway, they're not answering the phone for dude, bro.
They're not.
So they're not even going to give. They're not even going to be in the same room to give dude that advice. They're not answering his phone, bro. BTB Savage is not going to be on Breakfast Club, bro. It wasn't going to happen. You got to have a hit song to do that.
And so then that goes, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then that goes to, again, this is a further conversation in that niggas like him and Adam 22 get these lesser named people and be like, oh, we got these big platforms. Come over here and tap dance, monkey. I know it's pretty harsh, but that's how it looks. Like you said, them niggas ain't getting in the room with those guys. So Adam 22 calls and wants you to fight on set. Hey, man, y'all got to make this interesting. Now niggas is more willing to do it. So it's a whole thing. Come to the On Deck TV podcast, man. We won't have you fighting, jumping on tables.
None of that goofy shit.
So, yeah, man, it's a whole thing, I feel like.
Oh, man, next up, dude. We've been seeing a trend lately. AI is taking over, man. Artificial intelligence. It can write your whole school papers. It can make your own graphics, and it can imitate your favorite rapper apparently too. We've been hearing clips of Kanye AI. Young Guru's mind was blown when he heard Jay-Z AI on a song. My question to you, man, AI sounding exactly like your favorite rapper. Is this a big deal, little deal, or no deal?
This is a pretty big deal, man. They're gonna, of course, they're gonna come to technologies where you can authenticate that you're listening to the right thing, but they're also gonna be people who are in the market for this. Like I heard some of the Kanye shit, and I'm like, man, yeah, Kanye would have been dope on this song.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a big deal. I'm not sure what the full play is or how they're gonna prevent it yet. One thing that I do see when we were talking about Ticketmaster and all of this stuff, like the live experience is just going to come that more like value, like wanting to see the person who made the song that you remember and you see it right there in front of your face versus, oh, there's an artificial McDonald's fast food version of it that somebody may have put with AI. Though it'll be cool in some of the mashups and mixes, is going to add to the live portion of seeing people paying $300-$400 for a ticket, going to festivals. This is part of the thing that's going to get people back into the music business and physical copies of stuff that they can authenticate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, it's a little deal. I don't necessarily see it being the end of the world for niggas actually rapping. Like I don't see like Drake having a whole AI voiced album. Like I don't see it. Again, like I see Chat GPT is out here making waves and it's insane, by the way. If y'all ain't fucked around with that shit is crazy. Will it replace writers and graphic designers? I don't know. If it does, I don't know how soon it will be. We'll be talking 20 years from now. Will it even matter at that point?
Oh no.
I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know. But I don't think the AI rapper thing is that big a deal. I think people, because you can kind of tell. If you listen, you can kind of tell. And it's been happening for a minute too. Like this shit kind of been going on. Niggas don't really be falling for it. And then like look at it like this too. It's very similar to Photoshop. It's basically an audio version of Photoshop. How many times in 2023 do we get fooled by Photoshop? Somebody head being on somebody else's body. That shit doesn't happen anymore. And it could happen if somebody wanted to. If somebody wanted to, nigga, they could put somebody's head on something and be like, man, look at Jay-Z with Doja Cat, nigga, in the cut. But that shit doesn't happen. So for plenty of reasons, people don't want to be liable, sued, and all this extra shit. I think it's going to be the same way with the AI sounding artist. People aren't going to be sitting here making an AI Kanye rap on something else because they don't want to be liable to be sued, locked up. They'll put some regulations behind it to slow shit down. That's why I say it's a little deal.
I would ask you this if you say it's a little deal now. That part you're right about. What about the part where you don't do this no more, neither do I? What about the part when you're out in the club and you done had a couple of drinks in you? You really can't tell if that's the new Drake or some AI generated stuff. And the club started to get that off. You know they have to pay to listen to that music. So from a licensing standpoint, or let's say you at a Packers game and versus playing the original, all I do is win, win, win. They got the AI because I ain't got to pay DJ Khaled $2 million to play this. I can pay the little AI company that created this $200,000. So from the business standpoint of it, that's why I think it's a big deal, because once you get out in these mass settings and people pay licensing deals to play this music in these big venues and spaces at clubs, at grocery stores, then they can be like, well, I'm just going to take the cheaper route. We live in a capitalistic society. I don't need the original version. I just need something that sounds like it while somebody in here shopping for 15 minutes. So
yeah, you still got to pay for the license. You still gonna have to pay for the trademark and the licensing and all of that and publishing and stuff like that, though. You can't just take the same lyrics, nigga, and be like, "Oh, thanks." Well, no, dude. No, even the covers you're hearing like Walgreens, bro. That shit ain't free.
No, I know they pay for that. I'm saying more so in the sense of if I adjust it just enough from AI, and it's not the exact same lyrics or beat, but it's familiar enough to the consumer to where they nod their head to it, you may have something there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see it happening no time soon.
All righty, man. Forbes list came out.
Yep.
Not as big a deal in the culture as it usually is, AB, because there's only one rapper on the list, and that is Jay-Z at 2 billion. No Puff, no Kanye, no Dre on the list. AB, what do you say about the changes to the Forbes list?
I think it's a big deal that there's only one person on there now. Um, it was getting exciting to see Puff. It was getting exciting to see Dre, Ye. Like it was like, oh shit, like we making room up there. Like that's what's up. That's aspirational. But instead, them niggas done slipped down and Jay got more. Now, to be fair, he making all the right plays. Like we see, we report on something he do once every about 3 months, nigga, to bring in about 400 M's. You know what I'm saying? So like, I get it. It makes sense. I'm not surprised. We see how Kanye jacked off his B. Like we knew he wasn't finna be on, on here. He blew it. That was self-sabotage.
Right.
Dre sold off some shit. And Puff is like, I don't know, he's still trying to buy BT. I don't know. Or nigga, the Broncos or whatever the fuck you claiming he finna buy now. He not on here. I like seeing hip hop in that billionaire status, man. It was fun to see that shit. And it was aspirational. Jay ain't gonna stop anytime soon. He's gonna go in on one of these football teams, which is gonna triple his net worth. I don't know if Dre, Puff, and Kanye are gonna make it back on this list. If I had to guess, I would say Puff. I just don't see Dre really being concerned with that shit. And plus, that divorce is eating up at his shit. And then Kanye is just Kanye. I don't know if he's going to get back to the status he was once at. So if anybody, man, I'd give it to Puff. But what's the bigger deal though to you, man? Jay being the only one on here, or the fact that nigga everybody else fell off?
I think Jay being the only one on here is a big deal. Being able to maintain, like you said, we see
Level up.
those guys. Yeah, leveling up, maintaining. Because when you're in those spaces, you need money to make more money. So it's going to be a lot of moving pieces. And like you said, we've seen Jay move those pieces and he ain't taking a step back. Puff moving pieces and it kind of took a hit, it looks like. Dre moving pieces and kind of took a hit. And Kanye, who knows? Like you said, what's going on with that? However, I think it's a big deal that Jay has been able to maintain the prophecy that he's put forth. Like, I'm the businessman of hip hop. I'm on the Forbes list. I'm in working with the NFL. He is continuing to do what he said he would do, and that's the most impressive thing. Like being a billionaire, like you said, it was aspirational to see these guys from our culture there, but I think it's even more aspirational for Jay to say, way back on Blueprint in 2001, hey, this is what I'm working on, and this is what the fruition of this is. Being able to still be a part of it 22 years later and seeing, hey, yeah, he was right. That's fire to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going as planned. Very interested to see like who can creep up. Like, can Drake? I don't think Drake can get to that level. A whole bunch of shit would have to go down in order for Drake to get on that level. Where is he at? Oh, let me see.
He's a big enough star though. Like there could be something that happens where he makes a big enough move. I feel like he's probably the most likely.
What you think his net worth is though?
Drake right now, are you looking at it?
Yeah.
I would say between 65 and 85.
I don't know. It's 260.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, Drake can make it then. Yeah, he can make it. Because he still got a lot of deals on the table. Like, we still don't know where music is going and how much people are going to be willing to pay him for his albums moving forward.
That's true.
Drake Cole, we see that Dreamville Fest. Got a strong roster.
Nah, that ain't enough.
Cole, he ain't in it.
That's a lot of Dreamville Fest like hoodies, nigga, to get to that B. It's a lot. That ain't gonna do it.
Drake probably only one of this.
Hey man, we got a couple of court updates real quick, man, before we get to some wins and some losses and another anniversary too. XXXTentacion, his killer's trial has concluded. 3 of the 4 people who were charged have been given life. The 4th person cooperated, who wasn't the shooter. He cooperated and I think he's facing second degree murder as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he's gonna get some time off. The other guys were facing first degree murder and armed robbery. They got life. Man, the interesting thing about this, and also, I'm sorry, there was one more update. Pop Smoke, one of the guys involved in his murder, got 4 years. He was not the person who pulled the trigger. He was just involved in the home invasion, so he got some robbery shit or whatever, some lesser charges.
He was a juvenile too. That's why.
Yeah, and he was young. Yeah, and he's not getting credit for the time that he's already served. By the way, so that's 4 on top of what he's done. But the XXX thing I thought was interesting. One of the guys that was on trial blew a kiss at the mama. I don't know if you saw this. He was in court, blew a kiss at the mama, dude, a couple of weeks ago. And his mama, and so the court, they gave him life or whatever. And his mom was like, yo, make sure she said, hold a tight grip to the soap while you in jail for the rest of your life. She really like shook it on him. I was like, damn. But yeah, just two updates, man. They robbed him for $50,000. Y'all know the story out in Miami. And
is his mom white or black?
Huh?
Is his mom white or black?
Nah, she black.
Cause he mixed, ain't he? He ain't black.
Nah.
All the way. He ain't mixed. XXX Intention like fully black. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I guess it speaks to like the born of the kiss thing. I didn't know. I guess it speaks to the generation where we talking about it, how they think this is a game. You don't really learn. I'm sure if we visit back on that guy 20 years, he's gonna be singing a different tone.
Yeah.
If it don't come to him on his own, there's somebody in there gonna teach him about it. I'm fully confident that's gonna happen. I was surprised at the Pop Smoke thing and the guy getting 4 years, even though he was a juvenile. I'm not saying that he should have got more or less, but it was a surprising thing to see.
Yeah,
I like that they keep this in the news too. I know Boosie at one time said rappers were being hunted. I think keeping people abreast of the things that happened to the people who were in these conflicts with rappers and the rappers lost their lives, that these people are going to jail. They're going to jail for a very long time. It ain't going to just be no clout thing. The guy that Nipsey, the Eric Holder dude, would he get 60 years, I think? Have they sentenced him yet? It came out not too long ago. Let's see. So I'm glad that they are keeping the energy out there to let niggas know like rappers aren't on the hunted list.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. The guy who in Pop Smoke, yeah, he was a teenager at the time. He admitted, he was the first to admit guilt. He was unarmed. He entered the house. So he got 4 years. They stole a Rolex, crazy, bro, and ended up selling it for $2,000. So that was that they did all that, bro.
That nigga was a kid going on a caper with some niggas and somebody got killed. Yep. I didn't even have a gun. It's crazy. Now, what, 6 years of your life been wasted? How long Pop Smoke been dead? 4 years? So you dude finna do 8 years? That's
for nothing, bro.
All for like a caper. Like, let's
February 2020, bro.
Find because it was on. Let's run in this nigga house, see what we can find because it was on Instagram. Like, stop, bro. Like, what?
The niggas with XXX, they took the 50 and split it 4 ways, bro.
So they got a little bit over 12,000, 11,000, something like that.
Nah, it was 5 niggas or 4. That's what they got.
How many people was it? Yes, that's all
4,
he walked away
but
with.
They only gave the fourth dude 5 bands because he kind of flaked out at the last minute. He told them, the guy that ended up telling on everybody told them that there were cameras in there and that they were on camera when they walked in, but they still went through with it. So he tried to be like, yo, I don't think we should do it, but they went through with it anyway.
It's crazy the position the motherfuckers be in to think that 50,000 don't change their life. They think that we finna go well. Like, I would have, like, just hearing, being like the devil on their shoulder or whatever. Like, bro, once you go in here, you get these 50 racks and you split it with these 4 niggas. What's that 10 finna do for you? Like, you're risking life in jail for 10 or 11 racks, bro.
That's a lot of money, though, if you got nothing.
Yeah.
At one point in time, we used to think 10 bands was like, nigga, like, what? That was a lot, bro.
True.
It ain't worth life in jail, like, but I'm saying it wasn't nothing to sneeze at. It felt like a lot of money that you didn't know how to get to.
That's crazy.
It ain't shit in real life, but you know what I'm saying? It's just all perspective.
Yeah. To them, when nigga ain't never had 10,000, a lot of money.
It's a lot.
All right. Before we go on to our wins and losses, AB, 24 years ago today, well, not this week, last week, whatever, an album came out that sold 470,000 records the first week. That sounds crazy to say now. Golly. It was 4.5 mics and nominated for a Grammy Rap Album of the Year. That album, it was Nas's I Am. My question to you, AB, you going back listening to that now, does the I Am Nas album hold up?
Yeah, this album was fire. This is one of the ones that really put me on him. And originally, it was supposed to be a double disc. A lot of people may or may not remember that. The initial shit got leaked, so they had to flip it, hurry up, do a single project. That's why you got Nostradamus the same year. And if you remember Lost Tapes, a lot of the songs on Lost Tapes were supposed to be on that double disc too. So I Am supposed to be a double album, but it ended up being a single joint. But it's got some flames on there. That Favor for a Favor with Scarface, that Hate Me Now with Puff.
Come on, man.
Like that Life Is What You Make It, nigga. That shit all them go crazy. So it's some heat on there for sure. It's definitely a banger. It's probably top 5 Nas album, probably.
This was the first Nas album. Was it this or Nostradamus? It might have been Nostradamus. And then it was Nostradamus, and then J. Hove put me on this one.
Yep.
And this was my favorite Nas album for a long time. You already mentioned Favor for a Favor. That Undying Love at the end.
Crazy.
Maybe one of the best stories ever told on record. That shit is fire. That Kissing, Kissing, that's fire. That Ghetto Prisoners, We Will Survive. Like this, when I thought of Nas and I think of Nas, this is the album that I think of. Because I'm not a big Illmatic fan. For me, this is Nas at his peak right here.
You remember Blazing 50 on Lost Tapes?
Yeah.
And then Project Windows on Nostradamus.
Yeah.
And Papa Was a Player on Lost Tapes. That was all supposed to be on here.
That Project Windows had been on here. This would have been 5 mics. Hey, that would have done it. That would have went on and gave him the 5 mics. He had to put this Project Windows on there. That's still one of my favorite songs to this day.
Oh shit, that's a fact.
Man, 470 week is nuts, bro.
We gonna never see that again. You cancel it.
Never. And Nas was one of them niggas, but he wasn't like Drake is now or anything like that.
Right?
Was it?
But this is when niggas had to go into the store and actually buy CDs though. So it wasn't like you could just listen to one song, listen to two.
That is
like
true.
No, nigga, you was all in. You went and spit them $13.99 plus tax.
Facts. You had to go get that.
Wins or losses, man. We're taking it to Texas. Rapper Zero said he wouldn't play a cop on TV for $5 million. Is this a win or a loss?
This is the biggest L that we probably ever reported, bro. Unless Zero is got way more money than I think he got. This is the craziest statement ever. Like, bro, are you serious? Like, I ain't even gonna say it. But yeah, this is crazy. Like, there are a lot of other roles that I wouldn't play. If you catch my drift, a lot of the things that I wouldn't act like I was on TV before it was a cop.
For sure.
Yeah. So
listen, if Zero has FU money to turn down $5 million, then this is a W.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
If he got some type of moral thing where I can't even act like a cop, then okay, right. Then you're not an actor.
Right.
Fine.
All right, brother.
I'll play a cop for $5 million. W or L?
Give me that role.
Let me get that. Young Thug's co-defendant is representing himself in trial, and he says, "Don't worry about it, man. I'm straight. Trump will get me off." W or L?
Okay. Yeah, this dude's name is Jaden Myrick. He told the Earl Glanville at a court hearing that he wishes to represent himself. He's been studying law. And he also has been receiving legal advice from the former president, Donald Trump. He's been receiving it personally now. No. If I heard this and I was Young Thug, I would try to have this guy killed. Like in jail. Like, go on and shank this nigga out, bro. Like, this nigga is insane. He gonna have me in jail for life, bro. Get the like there's ain't no way. Like, either I got you taking this lawyer that I pay for you, or somebody's gonna shank you in the shower, bro. But under no scenario are you about to be in here playing and I'm looking at life for some RICO charges and you waiting on Donald Trump and you gonna defend yourself. That ain't happening. That's the last thing that's gonna happen if I was Young Thug and he was my co-defendant. So either, nigga, you take this lawyer that I'm gonna pay for and get you, or night. But you damn sure ain't doing this yourself, bro.
The defense is going to be very simple. It's going to be Young Thug did it. That's what his defense is going to be. He can read all of the shit he want to read, bro. We already know how this is going to go down. And Young Thug knows that too. Yeah. So you're right. Trump will get me off is nuts. Like, bro,
I've been talking to him personally though, and getting
man,
legal
fuck out of
advice,
here.
man. If I was a judge, nigga, you getting 20 more years, nigga. Come here
Nigga,
playing with me like this, motherfucker.
this
It's
nigga's ill.
crazy.
One more, man. WRL Doja Cat, your girl, says she is quitting pop so that she can get better at rap.
Is she still in the racist rooms looking at feet, showing feet, as Nori says? Man, people tell me that Doja Cat can rap. That's what they say. I've never took a time out to listen. But if she's about to take time off of pop to do rap, what I do think about this seriously, though, is it shows how big the female rapper is getting. We called this a couple of years ago, how big it's about to get. Because there's no way that you should be leaving pop music to do female rap. It's just the business side of it. Just don't make sense.
Yeah, no, I ain't mad at this. She's pretty talented though. I don't know like her whole like character and shit, because that chat room shit she was in was wild. But on a music tip, she's pretty dope though. I can't front. She make solid music if you into that. But so it should be interesting to see what that means, that she's gonna be better at rap than I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey man, we have a on decker of the week. We are going to last week's episode. Hilarious comment, man. Shout out to our guy on YouTube, man, D-Dub. Great show, fellas. Absolute L for Complex not putting On Deck on the list. Appreciate that. This is the funny shit. He said, yo, I attended Dreamville Festival both days. Definitely show how washed I am. My calf muscles didn't relax until the following Wednesday morning after the festival, and that shit ended on Sunday. Love the festival, but will never do a festival again.
I feel you, my brother.
Hey,
thank you for the heads up.
We all had that realization. We did something, and it was like, oh, I ain't built for this no more.
Yeah. Yep. In the middle of it, too. You'd be like, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm never doing this again, ever. Like, nobody can get me to do this again. So, yeah.
Hey, glad you had a good time, though, man. That's funny as hell, but boy, I know that feeling. Oh, shit. What you got to put me on?
100%. Man, I stumbled across a new show on Showtime about the Waco, Texas shit, and it is really good. It's just called Waco. I'm late to the party, but I'm 6 episodes in, and it is excellent. They're doing a great job. I didn't know how they shucked this guy in Waco. I thought it was a completely different story. But
talking about David Koresh?
Yeah, they shucked the shit out of him. Jeez Louise.
I can see that. I think I remember that. Was this on like USA or something? And then they put it on Showtime? Because Waco has been out before.
There's several different versions. It's like a version out now on Netflix. It just came out. But this one I think came out last year. You remember 9 Perfect Strangers with Nicole Kidman? They was out in the... It got the weird ass dad dude in there.
Okay,
like
I remember
the white dude. He's in there. The Riggins from Friday Night Lights is in there. Like, it's good. The people acting good. They got a lot of HBO people. It seemed like it may have been on HBO because a lot of people that are in there usually are on HBO shows. So
shout out to Waco, man.
It's good. Check that out, man. Called Waco.
I'm gonna point y'all to the movies this week, man. Y'all go check out that Air, bro. That motherfucking Ben Affleck. Yeah, that shit was dope, man. You ain't got to be really into sneakers like that. If you're not really no sneakerhead, it don't matter. It's still like, it's really dope. Just seeing somebody take a risk on something, take a chance, and it paying off. We all know how. Spoiler alert, they ended up signing Jordan, nigga, and this shit went on to go crazy.
Did he sign to Nike? Did they end up making the shoes and stuff?
Yeah. They ended up
just joking.
They've had a long-standing relationship, dude. So I hate to blow that for anybody, but no, it's really good, really inspirational. It kind of reminds you of like Social Network. It's kind of like that, but Social Network is superb though. So like it's not that good, but I'm saying it's like that style movie. Matt Damon and Viola
good too.
Hey, real quick, there's
it was as good as Social Network. Go ahead.
There's a scene with Viola Davis and Matt Damon
on the phone,
over the phone, where they're negotiating a deal that is worth the entire fucking price of admission. I bullshit you not. You saw it?
Facts. Yeah, I seen it.
Man, that scene was so cold.
Fantastic. The movie is fantastic, and her negotiating skills and Matt Damon coming back, and the other price of it. Man, that movie was really good.
Yeah,
like,
it was
put it right up there with Social Network because Ben Affleck did an amazing job as Phil Knight.
For sure.
Chris Tucker, amazing job as the old. Yeah. Everybody know an old black dude like that, dude.
Facts.
Either you done work with him or you related to him. Everybody know he played the old black man perfectly, which made me feel old. Did you hear him do my neck, my back shit too? He walked
shit,
out
I
of the
ain't peeped
room,
that.
out of one of the meetings. He's like, "Oh, my neck, my back." It was good, like a little Friday. Oh, that was pretty decent. Yeah, Viola Davis, man, she did a wonderful job. But my favorite character, people that know me know this, the agent.
Oh, he bodied it.
Bodied it.
Yeah, he stole every scene, bro.
That gave me Ari Gold Entourage feels 100%, dude.
Yep.
That nigga said, "I don't have friends, I have clients, dude. I said, for $100 million a day and go eat by myself." Like,
Facts.
that shit was good, man. That was a really good movie, bro.
I highly recommend y'all check that shit out, man. And shit was dope, man. I don't know. Social Network's slightly better, though. I'm gonna keep it a stack, though. Social Network is fantastic. Fucking fantastic.
I gotta watch it again, then.
That shit good as hell.
Great job as Phil Knight, bro. Like,
yeah,
that was good, man. That shit was really good.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, another week in the books, guys. Again, youtube.com/OnDeckTV. Let us know. What do y'all think about that, Nas? Are you still riding to that I Am? Do you think AI rappers are going to take over? And does Pusha T belong in that top 50 above NBA Youngboy? Let us know in the comments. What else, man, before we get out of here?
That's it, man. I did a review for that air. If you guys go check out the YouTube frames per second, we did that on Sunday. I completely forgot about it, but yeah, man, that was some good stuff. I really enjoyed that. It has been the On Deck TV show, 10 years in the makings. We coming up on our 10-year month anniversary.
Facts.
In May, man. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us. They've been rocking with us for a long time, and the new people as well.
Absolutely. We out.